All right, we're going to do a UFC matchmaking for the Iowa card, even though it was dog shit. I know I didn't do a recap video. I just was. I mean, it was a shit card. I honestly could not bring myself to get on here and talk about the card in depth, other than to make fun of Bo Nickal for 30 minutes, which would have been hilarious. My picks were terrible, so we'll quickly break that down. I was 7-5, bringing my overall record to 116-61. Not great. A lot of people did a lot worse on the card, but fucking Bo Nickal, man. How does this guy think he's going to beat Hamzat Chimaev? He'll walk through Whitaker, and DDP's terrible, but Bo Nickal can't go out there and have any success against Rainier de Ridder. Now, I'm not going to take anything away from Rainier de Ridder because I think he's very good. I think he's very, very good. He's a very tough out, and I think he's going to be a top 10 guy. He's literally number 13, but I think he's going to make it like up top 7. I think he's going to get there, but Bo Nickal, man, he deserves all the shit that he's getting. He's getting a ton of shit. He went out there yapping, talking about, I would ragdoll Chimaev. What have we really seen from Chimaev that's that impressive? At least Chimaev's able to get his opponents to the ground. Bo Nickal doesn't even fucking take anybody down unless he needs Jamie Pickett in the ball, so. Buddy, like, I get it. We're all piling up on Bo Nickal, and I don't think it's fair. Really? You don't talk the way Bo Nickal talks and then just like not deserve it. So you get all the shit that you get. We're gonna match make this though because Sandhagen also had an amazing performance. Um, it's interesting. The position Sandhagen's in is very interesting because we have Marab versus Sean coming up. I think that if Sean O'Malley, because Sandhagen's only loss like of recency is to Umar. He lost to Umar. Before that, he'd beaten Font, beat Cheeto, had another win before, beat Song Yadong also. These are all top guys. Now he went out there and he beat Figueiredo. Like, he lost to Piotr Jan once, yeah, 2021. He's the only guy that hasn't fought Marab yet. So if Marab wins, if he manages to beat Sean O'Malley, I think Sandhagen gets the next title shot. I do. I think it makes sense, even though Piotr Jan's kind of waiting. I haven't seen Sandhagen fight Marab yet, and I actually think Sandhagen is a much more difficult matchup for Marab than someone like Piotr Jan is, because Sandhagen uses his range well. He throws a lot of shots up the middle. He has tremendous cardio as well, and his anti-grappling is very good. And it's a different matchup. Now, as you know, I think Sean O'Malley wins. And I think if Sean O'Malley does end up winning in this rematch, they're going to book a trilogy, and Sandhagen's going to kind of get left out here. So I think Sandhagen's going to want to remain active. Put himself in a spot where if he wins one more fight, it is undeniable. He is the guy that gets the title shot. There's another guy that gets a title shot if he wins his next fight. It's Piotr Jan, no matter what. Why not book this fight? They're talking shit back and forth on Twitter now. Piotr Jan has a win over Umar. He's also coming off 2 wins. He beat Figueiredo dominantly. And he beat Song Yadong also. 2 guys that Sandhagen's beat. These 2 guys are at the top of the division. These are the best contenders outside of Sean O'Malley. I'd love to see Piotr Jan fight Umar Nurmagomedov, but Piotr Jan's trying to get back in there and not wait to have 11 months off before he fights again. He wants to fight in around July. I'm betting Sandhagen's going to be willing to fight soon too because he turned around pretty quickly. I think Sandhagen versus Piotr Jan 2 is a sick fight to make. Put it as the co-main event of the Poirier pay-per-view on July 19th in Louisiana. Boom. 5-round co-main event. Corey Sandhagen, Piotr Jan. 5 rounds, number 1 contenders fight. Winner gets O'Malley or Marab, or if O'Malley and Marab end up doing a trilogy, that would make sense too, but they put themselves in a good position here with a win. And the UFC might say, we're going to skip over Marab, which they shouldn't if Marab loses because Marab is Marab, but I just think it makes a lot of sense. I really do. And I think if O'Malley wins, I'd probably see them doing Sandhagen versus... They could just do Sandhagen versus Marab no matter what happens in this, honestly. But I would love to see Corey Sandhagen versus Piotr Jan too. It was one of the best fights. It was one of my favorite fights in UFC history, honestly. In terms of technicality, skill, everything that they were able to do, it was so good. Why not see it again? These are 2 guys that are so high level. They're so evenly matched. Let's see them scrap it out again with a full camp. Piotr Jan, Corey Sandhagen, second fight rematch, 5-round co-main event, the Poirier Holloway card in Louisiana. Now next Deiveson Figueiredo, who is probably going to be a permanent gatekeeper. I was looking in the bantamweight rankings, and it's just hard because he blew his knee out. He's going to need a lot of time off. He's not going to come back for probably 9 months to a year. You can start going, oh, well, maybe like a Marcus McGee will be ready to fight in this situation. I don't know why I shut that down. Marcus McGee may be ready to jump up in the rankings in that situation. Maybe it's a Mario Batista at some point. I just don't know how bantamweight's going to shake out. It's in a weird spot right now. I know it shakes out up top, but none of those guys up top are going to be looking to face Deiveson Figueiredo next. They've already beat him. Jan and Sandhagen have already beaten him. Merab is going to be a title guy, right? O'Malley's going to be in the title talks. Umar, they're just going to give him whatever he wants because of where he's from. I think you have a Figueiredo fight a fight that we haven't been able to see yet that we all are probably going to want to see at some point. We've never seen this, and I feel like this is just one of those unk fights that, like, loser retires. Maybe both retire. It's a good, like, co-main event to a fight night. It's got two bigger names. Feature fight. Like, I just think it makes sense. I think Cejudo versus Figueiredo is going to make sense. I think both these guys are going to end up, by the time they end up fighting when Figueiredo's healthy, when I'm envisioning it, which will be over a year, or like, it'll be in 2026. You're going to have Cejudo, who's going to be like, he's ranked like 9 right now. He's probably going to go down to like 12 once people start having good performances. And I think Figueiredo's probably going to go down to around 10 when you have some of these people fighting, staying active. They're going to jump past him. So I think this is a good matchup to make just because two legends, let it happen. And then both can retire and we can fill their spots with new talent at bantamweight. Vinicius Oliveira's. Guys like that. I think it makes sense for me. So Figueiredo, Cejudo, let's see it happen. Next up, Renier de Ridder, who was impressive. He was very impressive. He was able to topple Bo Nickal over, destroy him in the clinch, outmuscle him, and get Bo Nickal on bottom. You will never see, and here's the thing, is like, I'm not going to sit here and glaze the fucking caucus like crazy, but those guys don't end up on their back, and if they do, they're up in an instant. You'll never see Chimaev on his back. You won't. You never saw Habib on his back. You don't really see... You saw Islam on his back against Volk, which was crazy, but that wasn't like wrestling-induced right in the beginning of the fight. That was the last minute of a 25-minute fight against a cardio king in Alexander Volkanovski, who knocked him down. So, I just think that when you're talking Bo Nickal talking the way he's talking, he's not supposed to be getting held on the ground there for minutes in the first round. He's not supposed to be able to get outdone in the clinch. Like, maybe strike-wise, yes, but he got out physicalitied. And I know Renier de Ridder is huge. Massive human being for the division. For 185, he's huge. But, Bo, you talked your shit. You gotta be able to fucking back it up. And he did not. It looked like Bo did not want to be in there anymore. It looked like he got hit a couple of times and quit. It looked like Bo was like, I can't handle adversity. First sign of adversity, he quits. That's the guy. That's the guy we go nuts for. Bo Nickal. Yeah. Renier de Ridder called out Sean Strickland. I honestly don't want to see a Sean Strickland matchup. I don't hate it, but it's not the one that gets me going, even though I do think Renier de Ridder deserves a guy up there in the rankings. And I'm going to say, let's see him fight Robert Whittaker. This is a chance for Robert Whittaker to get redemption on DDP. I know they're not the same guy, but they are the same fucking guy. They're both Dutch with 3 different names, or 3 names in their name. 3 names. Renier de Ridder, Dricus du Plessis, if you guys can't count, come on. They're both ridiculously weird at striking. DDP striking has gotten better and better and better. They're both extremely big for the division, very physical, very, very strong. They both have very good grappling and great submissions. They're kind of on that path right now. Like, I wouldn't call Bo Nickal the fucking Darren Till, but why not just get RDR up there? The thing is with Whittaker, with Strickland, with Izzy, they're going to have to fight down. The middleweight division is stacked right now, and we're going to need these names to start going up in the rankings. You're going to have Chimaev and Imavov. They're already up there. Baralio's going to end up going above them. Anthony Hernandez is going to need to start taking fights up there in that division. A whole bunch of guys in the division that should be looking to fight up soon. RDR is going to be one of those guys. He's a new name and he's getting wins. You have Vettori and Allen, who I think should fight each other, honestly. I really do. You have Gregory Rodriguez lost to Cannonier, but he's another guy that's very, very good. You can see him pop back in the rankings at some point soon. You have these really talented Abus, Ikram Alaskarov. These are new names like coming in. I think this is such a talented division. We're going to see a lot of cool stuff start happening in it, but you got to start seeing who can the old guard hold. And if the old guard can't, which of the old guard is going to be passed on to somebody else? You got to do that. So I think Whitaker versus RDR is a great matchup. I don't think it's an automatic win for RDR. I don't think it's an automatic win for Whitaker after what we saw against DDP. I think it's a very intriguing matchup. RDR could win. Robert Whitaker is who I'd be leaning to win. But this gives RDR his DDP redemption fight. It's the same fucking thing because Whitaker's never going back to the belt, guys. I'm sorry, but after getting smushed by Chimaev and having our loss to DDP already, he's not going back to the belt. They're just not, like, you have Imavov, who already deserves a shot. You have Chimaev, who's going to be getting the shot. And you have Baralho, who's one win away from being in that conversation also. So I think RDR versus Robert Whitaker makes sense. You're going to have, I'd say you do that, and then you do Anthony Hernandez versus Sean Strickland, or Anthony Hernandez versus Israel Adesanya, Kyle Baralho versus Sean Strickland, and then you have Roman Dolidze versus a Cannonier. Something like that. I think that makes a lot of sense, but we're going to move. And that fight, RDR and Robert Whitaker, dude, they're so active. Like, RDR is so active. I respect the shit out of it. So why not have this fight happen when they go to Australia next, which I believe will be for a fight night in July. If they did RDR Whitaker fight night main event, fight night in August, I think that'd be sick. And I think it's one both guys would be willing to take too. So I say try and book RDR versus Robert Whitaker for a main event. I'm a big fan of that fight. Moving on, Bo Nickal, overrated. This guy's wrestling. Dude, we've seen Hamzat tested, but it didn't go easy for him at 170 against Burns. He beat Usman, yeah, but Usman was on short notice, and I think I'm just going to break him in later rounds. I do. Really, buddy? How did that age? You got broken by RDR the second he started going to your body. Really, buddy? So, Bo overrated Nickal. I don't know that he beats anyone else in the top 15 either. He lost to RDR. I don't know that he can beat anyone. Vettori might stop the takedowns and break him late. Roman Dolidze probably fucking subs him. He probably just pulls a fucking leg lock and subs him. Michel Pereira probably actually starches Bo Nickal early. Even Michel Pereira. Abus probably starches him early. I don't think Bo can fucking hang. At this point, I don't. He needs to prove that he can. I think there's only one way to get Bo Nickal back in everyone's good graces, guys. Hear me out. He might lose to fucking Mearshart. So what do you do with Bo Nickal? You gotta get him back in people's good graces. Main event of UFC 400, Bo Nickal versus Torres Finney. Cooked with this one, boys. Let's see how it goes. Because Torres Finney is incapable of doing any damage on the feet, but he's got some American wrestling. Bo Nickal's got American wrestling, and he boxed when he was a kid, so he can rely on that to be a great MMA fighter. Bro, this is a fight that we need to see. We need to see the undefeated monster Torres Finney, who's just going to take you down versus the best wrestler we've ever seen, Bo Nickal, who doesn't use takedowns in his fights. I just think this would be such a meme of a fight. If we got Bo Nickal, who was on the main card of UFC 300 over Yuri Prohaska, Alexander Rakic, over Calvin Kattar versus Aljamain Sterling, over Hanato Moicano versus Jalen Turner, over Figgy versus Garbrandt, over all of those fights. Over Diego Lopez, Sadiq Youssef. If you're going to have Bo Nickal on the main card against Cody Brundage over those guys, and then you have him fight RDR and lose after going to a snooze fest decision with Paul Craig, I think the next matchup is Torres Finney, dude. You want people to start to be invested in Bo Nickal again. All you're gonna see of fans is gonna be shitting on Bo Nickal and watching him for the memes. You can't. There's his days of being paid for a pay-per-view are over. Over. No one's gonna pay to watch this guy fight. He's not good at MMA. He's not a top guy in MMA. So why not try and build him off of a meme? If you do Bo Nickal, Torres Finney, he gets a win. Everyone's like, hey, he took care of Torres Finney for us. Yeah. This is the kind of fight that hardcores tune in for and go, this is the one, dude. Torres Finney, Bo Nickal, co-main event of some fucking Apex card probably. Send Bo Nickal to the Apex. It's time for Bo Nickal to go to the Apex, dude. Hey, Bo Nickal, Torres Finney. I think that's just perfect. Gosh, how things have come full circle. Dude, I think I'd be a really. I think I dominate Hamzat early. Maybe he has a couple good moments early, but I think later I just break him. As Renier de Ridder hits him with a couple of knees to the body and Bo Nickal quits in front of everybody's eyes. Never lost in the state of Iowa. Except for that time, buddy, in a real fight. Gosh, I'm honestly so happy that I didn't pick Renier de Ridder. I knew that it was going to be tough. I said it was a legit test for Bo. I just thought Bo would be able to handle it. He can't handle shit, buddy. So Bo Nickal loses. I say put him against Torres Finney next. It's the perfect meme. Come on, dude. Bo Nickal might get knocked out by Azamat Bakoyev. I'm just saying that. We got Bakoyev getting matched up here later, but I think Bo Nickal loses to Bakoyev now that I'm thinking about it. Anyway, we're going to move on to D-Rod, who knocked out Ponzi. Damn it. I think the winner of Radke versus Malat, which is happening this weekend, is the perfect matchup for D-Rod. D-Rod is not in this position where he's like, I get a fucking ranked opponent after losing 5 in a row before this win over a 38-year-old Ponzinibbio. Even though D-Rod's also 38. He's not this prospect that you're looking to put together. I think Radke and Malat are two younger guys, prospect-related, prospect-type guys that you can give to a Daniel Rodriguez almost like it's a Neil Magny fight. You wouldn't want to make that too difficult for Mike Malat, though, because Mike Malat's already gotten finished by Neil Magny. So I think Radke's going to get it done this weekend. I'm letting you know right now. He's going to get on the mic. He's going to say it again. He's going to go, Daniel Rodriguez, you fucking, I'm going to take your head off. Fucking. He's going to keep saying it. So Radke's going to win this weekend, I think. Say it again. And he should call out Daniel Rodriguez. Go fight D-Rod after that. I think it's a great fight. Let's do it. Radke versus D-Rod. Or if Mike Malat wins, he can get the D-Rod fight. Moving on. Montel Jackson. Honestly, Montel Jackson's usually a great, fun fighter. This fight was not the most fun, but it wasn't really Montel Jackson's fault. Daniel Marcos did not want to fight, but it's time for Montel Jackson to be able to look up in the rankings here. I say Kyler Phillips, he's ranked 12. Montel's ranked 15th. Montel's got to look up in the rankings. Kyler Phillips coming off back-to-back losses to Rob Font and someone else. Or maybe he looks shit against Munoz and then Rob Font. So, then lost to Rob Font. So I say Kyler Phillips got to fight down. Montel Jackson got to fight up. Kyler Phillips is going to lose his ranking spot if he doesn't fucking fight soon. So I say Montel Jackson, you took about 11 months off last time. Have a quick turnaround here. Have a quick turnaround. Fight Kyler Phillips. See if you can get your name moving up in the rankings and people talking about it more. So I think that's a good matchup to make. Sahir City got a win over Cameron Smotherman. Not overly impressive fight. Think Kang Lee, another guy that got a win on this card, makes sense. Match them up together. Kang Lee looked, I thought, a little more impressive than Sahir City did, but the level of competition was different. I think that Cameron Smotherman's much better than Gaston Bolaños, but picked Kang Lee as an underdog. Told you, boys. So Sahir City, Kang Lee, I think is a good matchup to make. Mason Jones. This guy is a dog. I told you guys, he's a monster. People want to talk shit about his round 3 like he didn't have the fucking fight of the night in the first 2 rounds, and then round 3 got a little bit slower. I think Mason Jones should be looking to take on Jared Gordon. He's got a fight coming up this week on May 17th against Thiago Moises. I actually think Jared Gordon's going to get it done. He might get his legs chewed, but in the boxing and in the cage fight, clinch fighting, I think that Jared Gordon's going to have the advantage here. So I'm going to go with Jared Gordon versus beating Thiago Moises, and then he should fight Mason Jones. Look for that fight to happen August, maybe September. I think that's the one to make. Mason Jones versus Jared Gordon. I think it's a good one. Moving on, Azamat Bakoyev. Mason Jones looked really good against Jeremy Stephens, by the way. Jeremy Stephens gave us a good fight in round 2 specifically, but I think Mason Jones still won every round. Azamat Bakoyev, sick knockout over Ryan Loder. This guy's kind of this guy's definitely a Roichi, dude. I know if you watch my prediction video, you know I said that this guy definitely is juicing. I think he definitely is. Great knockout win over Loder. I say Bruno Ferreira. Let's get this guy moving up top quicker. I think I want to see him against these power punchers that can also grapple a little bit. So I say Azamat Bakoa versus Bruno Fajea. I think that's a sick fight that you can add to a fight night. Maybe do that in I don't know, when you go to Abu Dhabi in August. I think that's a good one. Jillian Robertson should be me. I'd say her versus me on the mat anytime. But Amanda Ribas, ranked above her. Jillian Robertson's got a win streak going. She just retired Marina Rodriguez. I say Jillian Robertson versus Amanda Ribas. It's a good fight to make. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, please like and subscribe. This was a difficult one to match make because there wasn't too much interest on the card. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't overly interesting, but did the best I could. I think, just to recap, I think Sandhagen versus Petr Yan is a great fight to make. If Merab wins, I think it should be Sandhagen, though, for the title shot. So, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and sub.